Hey guys, here are 5 of the most powerful true off my chest stories you simply can't stop listening to. Pay close attention.
My daughter married her former teacher, and she is completely transformed. She was 24 when she married him. He was 41. My daughter pursued a career in biochemical engineering, but dropped out after 2 years and decided to go for something easier. I raised her by myself, and I never had any issues with her. So when she told me she is dating this guy who is very respected in the field she originally studied, I wasn't very happy, but neither did I find it a tragedy. I knew my daughter, mature, responsible. After a year, they got married and have been married for 5 years already. They have a 4-year-old daughter. She told me they started dating after she dropped out. I have my doubts, but now they are irrelevant. He wasn't a really teacher, but did have a contract with university because he was working with students on projects that got huge financing. Now, what to tell you about him? Old school, emotionally cold, used to bark orders at those around him, always serious, but doesn't drink, doesn't spend his night away, only if is his career related. What I didn't like is that he always felt and acted superior to our family. Never participated at Christmas dinners, Easter dinners. I rarely saw my granddaughter unless I went to spend a few days at their place. He was polite with me, but just that. I rarely see him smile. I don't think he's a bad man, but he's used to be working with people below him. My daughter loves him very much, which is a good thing. But her whole life is him. All day, every day, ironing his shirts, cooking. I saw her many times clinging to him, embracing him, and he just stays there, doesn't even touch her. He doesn't reject her, but is not responsive, extremely cold. Not even their daughter, just him. He got diagnosed with cancer last year. His body responds well to the treatment, but it's very aggressive. He buried himself even more in his projects. My daughter became skinny, doesn't sleep, cries all the time. She told me she doesn't want to live without him, that without him, she is nothing. He's not dying, but anyway, I reminded her that she has a daughter that needs her. My granddaughter spends most of her time with me. My daughter is a wreck. She keeps repeating how she refuses to live without him, doesn't go out with friends anymore, doesn't do anything for herself anymore. She is just, what will I do without him? I want to help her and my granddaughter.
I'm an adult with a screwed up name and I hate it. Please do not give kids messed up names. I'm using a throwaway because I'd rather keep this private and I don't want people on my main to know how embarrassing my legal name is. I'm a 43-year-old woman and my mother and father actually named me Jolene. The horrible thing is my sister has an even worse name. My name is Jolene and I had to grow up hearing people sing this song to me my entire life. My mom got mad when I told her I'm changing my name to something less stupid. My sister was bullied badly in school because the kids figured out her name was a venereal disease, Candida, literally a yeast infection. Unfortunately, people have actually treated me like I'm the woman in the song, like I'm a homewrecker, just because of my name. Name your kids something they can live with. I'm going to change my name as soon as I can, and it will be something plain and normal so I can fade into the background. I want to be able to confidently say my name in a crowd and not hold my breath waiting for someone to say something.
Tea spilling vibe. Okay, so this is petty but kind of funny to me, so I thought I'd post. So back in the day, I was in love with this guy who we will call Jay. Let him treat me like dirt and whatever, you've all heard it before. It's embarrassing, but I learned from it and moved on. Anyway, he had a girl bestie who we will call Amy, and she was actually one of the most passive-aggressive people I have ever met in my life. Super mean to me, and at the time I was a bit chubbier, so she was able to make me feel super bad about myself. He always sided with her and brushed off her bullying as joking, and that's just how she is. And it was a nightmare. We would fight about it all the time, and he'd just call me insecure, which, to be fair, I was at the time. Anyway, we broke up years ago, but he did a number on me for sure. I have no heard about this man in years because to me, once we are done, you are dead to me and I will never look up what you got going on. But I met up with an old friend who had been part of the friend group of Jay and Amy. She used to date one of Jay's best friends. They split pretty recently, also due to Amy, lol. And we had gotten close and kept in contact, but I'd always asked her not to give me any details. But I'm recently engaged, yay! And Jay reached out to me on a new Insta of his asking if we could talk. I didn't respond, nor am I going to, because there's nothing to talk about. It's been like 4 years, lol. But I mentioned it to my friend and she was like, oh my God, I have so much tea I've been wanting to spill. I just didn't want to cross any boundaries. And I was like, okay, I'm over it, but nosy, so what's up? So basically, Jay and Amy never dated, but they always had a super weird relationship, and it was clear he was into her, but she wasn't into him, but she liked his attention. Well, any male attention. Amy is a pretty girl. I hate her, but she's not ugly. But she's like the hottest girl in a small town type of hot, if you get what I mean. And we all had lived in a small town at the time, so she was Miss Thing over there. Anyway, apparently a woman who we will call Scarlett, because she low-key looks a bit like Scarlett Johansson, moved to that town temporarily for a reason I don't know. It's a kind of random town, and she was originally from a huge city, but whatever. Anyway, Scarlett met Jay at a bar, and they hit it off and ended up becoming friendly. Don't know if it was romantic on her part, but he was trying to woo her for sure, and apparently it seemed he may have had a chance. My friend sent me pics of this girl, and she's actually so pretty, it's insane to me. Like, how? She was apparently a former model, and honestly, I have no doubts about that. She's like TV beautiful, like beautiful in every city, town, country you go to visit, a universal 10. And Miss Thing Amy suddenly was outshined to the highest degree. So Amy was mad and did her whole power trip thing, and Scarlett instantly was like, nah, I'm okay. Jay went nuclear on Amy because TBH, this girl was so far out of his league, it's insane. And he knew he'd never probably be in the same room with a woman like that ever again. Anyway, Scarlett legit ghosted him straight up after the first meeting with Amy and apparently never spoke to him again. What a queen. Wish I had done that. And Jay lost his mind and spilled all Amy's dirty laundry and verbally tore her apart, and she responded with just as much venom. So their friendship is done, their friend group is shattered, and the AH in me is just so happy Amy finally got out-hotted and learned she ain't all that. Jay losing a baddie is funny too. Anyway, this is a good lesson for girls who let men prioritize other women. If they are into you enough, they'd fight for you. So if that bum's telling you his friend is just joking when she's being a bully, leave. He go to war for his Scarlett, and if you ain't her Scarlett, you are wasting your time. I found my prince who liked me as I am. I'm far from the cutest girl in the room, and it doesn't matter. I'm more than that. Hold your head high and only give your energy to those who deserve it.
28 years men, have flown dozens of times, but something about that morning flight broke me. Maybe the lack of sleep, maybe the stress, maybe nothing at all. Midway through takeoff, my chest tightened, and I started shaking. I tried to hide it, but I guess I wasn't subtle. The woman next to me, maybe mid-40s, put her book down, gently touched my elbow, and asked, "Do you need someone to sit with you for a moment?" I don't know why, but I nodded. She held my hand. A complete stranger. No judgment, no weird questions, just a steady presence. When the plane leveled out, I apologized. She shook her head and said, "Everyone needs someone sometimes." We barely talked afterward. She went back to her book. When we landed, she told me to drink water and take it slow. Then she disappeared into the crowd. It's been 4 months and I still think about her. Not in a romantic way, just in a humanity way. I didn't know a stranger could be the reason I didn't completely fall apart that day.
I'm watching my stepmom become the loser she always told me I'd become, and it's amazing. So I was a mistake. My mom and dad were dumb idiots. Mom mostly raised me because my dad tried blocking her. After a while, he was in my life and paid child support. He got married and had 2 more kids the right way, and my stepmom, Hildy, never let it go how much better she was than me. How she and her kids had clothes from nice stores and not Walmart, and how they just didn't have time to include me in the Christmas card picture. Plus, I wouldn't have a nice enough outfit, so oh wow. One of their kids, my brother, came out as trans a bit ago, and Hildy seemed very supportive. Apparently not. She's been drinking a lot and gaining weight. She lost her job, and I found out because she called me ranting in the middle of the day and saying that she lost her daughter and like I should have transitioned instead of him. It was so bizarre, and I told my dad he needed to deal with it. He tried telling me that he wanted her to get therapy, but honestly, I don't care, except I don't want her to ruin my brother's lives. Apparently, she picked one of them up from school and smelled like wine. She has been so horrible to me my entire life that I've known her, most of it, and I don't care that she's unhappy. I have enjoyed watching her burn out. Yes, I feel bad for my brothers, but this woman treated a literal child like trash because she hated my mom. She came to my bridal shower, wearing a white dress that she couldn't even zip up the whole way. When people mentioned it, I just shook my head and ignored it like she would do when people would point out that my jeans were too short that one time. And in front of everyone, she said she refused to spend their family's money on clothes for me since my dad paid child support. Whatever, I don't care. She deserves her life, and my dad deserves his marriage. And I'm clearly not a good person for laughing at all of this, so I guess I retroactively deserved my childhood. The only victims are my brothers.
Hit the like button, tell me which story you loved the most, and don't forget to subscribe.